It depends, and of course we don't know exact numbers because it's closed information, what is the loss and so on and so forth, but there is official statistics, for example, from FBI and from US authorities. There are billions of dollars yearly the loss from this IT threats and IT and crime and so on and so forth. Talking about different stories, different incidents, I can say, for example, the quite loud incident with HB Gary. This is American US security company which worked with the US government, and they were hacked by hackers, by the anonymous group, and all their confidential information was disclosed. And the company, before this incident, they were about 60 million US dollars. The price of this company was more than 60 million dollars. But after this hack, almost zero, almost nothing. So they went down to nothing. They compromised themselves absolutely. And this is the only example. The other example is RSA hack, Sony hack in the middle of 2011, and different other companies who also were victims of cybercriminals attacks. If we're talking about solutions for all this mass, for all these threats which are increasing year after year, it's important to say about, I think, the complex approach to security, to protection. We can't say install the software and you will be safe. Unfortunately, no. Again, the weakest link in the corporate protection and the corporate security is humans, is employees. Again, this goes to consumer security. So several things. To protect your company, you need to implement a complex approach. First of all, education. Educate your employees, trainings when you hire them, and regular trainings. That's important. Then policies, security policies. The more strict they are, the better. So it's a question whether to allow people in your company to use social networks or use Skype or anything else. I don't know. It's quite important to think about what they can use, what they can't use. For example, smartphones. Do you use your smartphone for your business? I think that yes, and this is about, again, consumerization, mobilization, and so on and so forth. What's going on now with a lot of companies, big financial sector or government sector or whatever, any industry now, they're using all these new technologies. And that's an important fact that you need to think about protection of these technologies. Again, laptops, smartphones, all your confidential information on your own devices. That's important to protect them, encryption, VPN, and so on and so forth. Maybe yes. I can't say it right now because again we don't see any like special trend with increasing malware here. But again, as I already told you, with increasing broadband connection, with increasing this all new services and internet connectivity, they are starting to attack you as well. So maybe several years ago, they were not so interested in attacking especially African countries and African continent. But now, as you have a lot of new technologies and new broadband connectivity, it means that they are starting to see the sources to attack you. So more or less, I can say that in this year and future years, you will be like hot trend for this corporate threats. Again, as I already told you, with all these new technologies like using virtualization, for example, it's understandable, it's efficient, it's easy to use, and so on and so forth. It helps to business. And this is the main trend now. What's going on in the IT industry. We can't say anything bad about this, but at the same time, it's important to say that the threats are almost the same as for real computers and virtual environment, virtual infrastructure. So it's important that the same Trojans, the same worms, viruses, whatever, which are trying to steal any information, they're working as well on virtual infrastructure. So that's why we're talking about the importance of the security solution, not only for desktops and real computers, but as well as virtual and cloud things. I think yes, and I think talking about, for example, this IDC conference, which is very, very important for us, it's important to be here, and I think, of course, for all the CIOs who are coming to this conference, it's also quite important to exchange their knowledge, to exchange the ideas and latest protection technologies. That's why this conference is going on year after year, and the importance of this conference is really, really high.
And what are the security strategies that today's corporates should be aware of and should be striving to achieve?
Again, security strategy, as I already told you, complex approach, education, establishing processes, and implementing technologies, the real, up-to-date, cutting-edge technologies. Again, Kaspersky is a good example, but again, not only. There are, if we are talking about security solutions, maybe sometimes you can think to maybe use different vendors. For example, for to endpoint, use one vendor, for servers use another vendor. But again, maybe sometimes it's easier to use only one vendor because it's easier to administrate it. So the best advice here is to think about all your security and the implementation of new technologies. I mean, again, virtualization. You can use agent or agentless approach. And this is important to think what and where to use, what is more efficient for your company, and as well with security solutions, which exactly security solution to use on which virtual infrastructure.